Hi, what up, y'all? It's Metaphor. Represent everyone's you and not verse. We're gonna do a video, you and not verse, you dig? On the moon of Sagittarius through the houses. In the first house, the moon of Sagittarius would make you adapt to your people adapting to your personal life and your way of adapting to other people's personal feelings. You see what I'm saying? So the Sagittarius element is a Jupiterian nature, so you're bringing an expansive nature to your personality. So you're having an adaptive feeling to the way that your new personality. It's not really like a new thing, but it's like, okay, I am who I am. And every time, it's like whenever you walk to the mirror, you have a look at yourself like, oh, that's me? Oh, okay. I'm getting older. That's a different look at myself. You see what I'm saying? So the moon of Sagittarius would create this expansive nature upon your personality and your first impression, and whenever you walk in the room, how people see you for the first time. That's a first impression. So you're adapting to that, and other people are adapting to that emotion as well. The Sagittarian nature, like I say, expands. It's not like you're just confined to one idea. The second house is a value, so the moon of Sagittarius would make you adapt to these values that you have accumulated. Excuse me, let me get me a drink. An analogy for this would be if you just moved in with someone new or you moved into a new place, you have a different value system. It's like, okay, I am taking part and paying these bills for a certain period of time, and what I've accumulated, okay, I have this much accumulated for the bills and I have this excess money. I can put new things in new places so that way they can accumulate even more. Or you're saying that, okay, I'm moving in with a new partner maybe, and that's the new value system, and we're paying new bills together, and it may be cheaper, or you want to move into a better place because it's two of you. You see what I'm saying? So it's this new value system. Well, not new value system. This values that you've accumulated, and now you're adapting to the values, that you're bringing together. And the third house would be the Libra rising, and this would be the Sagittarian nature bringing an environment. So an expansive nature to your environment. You're expanding your environment. Going to new places, maybe a new job, and things that you've accumulated from the previous circumstances, you're like, oh, okay, I have really came a long way. I came from afar. That's where Sagittarius comes from. It's a far out emotion. So feeling that you're maybe in a far out environment. You see what I'm saying? That's the third house with the Libra rising. The fourth house, with Sagittarius being here, would be the Virgo rising. And this would be the personal environment, like your home. It's like to the third house, but it's a bit different. It's more in your own secluded space. The fourth house is like an emotion. The third house is communicating it. You see what I mean? And bringing that thought to it. So the fourth house is, a water house. So you have, like I say, a Virgo rising here, and this would be expanding your personal space, expanding your personal emotions. So like you're maybe feeling different emotions that you haven't felt before at this point in time. This is the Virgo rising. So is looking at the square alignment between your personality and this personal emotion that you've accumulated. So it's like how you feel about yourself, and whenever you're in the home, whenever you're around family, you see what I'm saying? What you've accumulated from how you've treated these people that you're close to, or these feelings that you're close to, and yourself. How are you gonna go about your personal life compared to your home life? You see what I'm saying? So kind of like a square alignment is a rock and a hard place type of thing. It's the same not element, same modality. So being able to adapt. So with the Virgo trying to adapt to a logical way of going about it, the Sagittarian nature is bringing a far out way of feeling to that personal home life, because you whenever you're trying to make sense out of something, you want to adapt to how somebody else is going about what they're doing, so you can actually feel correctly about it. That's what the Virgo, Mercury alignment is. Like Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so it's trying to figure the best way to go about something before even going about it. A lot of thinking. So I would say do more feeling in your home space. So just allow yourself to feel those emotions type thing. And then you have with the 5th house being Sagittarius, and I believe this would be the Leo rising. I'm pretty sure, yes. Yeah, the Leo rising has the moon transiting their 5th house, so a new way of expressing yourself. So the reason why I say it's new, because you've accumulated so much from this Sagittarius season. This the way of expressing yourself has been on the stage. You see what I mean? The sun, and you're ruled by the sun. So it's been showing you how other people are acting and how you're acting amongst other people, and the way that you're expressing yourself. How do you adapt to this expression that you've accumulated? That's why I say it's new. So are you going to be boastful? Are you going to be, grateful for what you've accumulated and just continue to move on and move forward with what you've got and be happy with where you're coming from and say that, okay, I am going to continue to reach for the stars and there's no point in, being upset where I land type thing. So that's the 5th house with the moon in Sagittarius. So it's a far out emotion of their expression, the far out expression type thing is where the Leo is coming from with this moon in Sagittarius alignment. Kind of on the on the stage showing y'all that firsthand. So then with the Cancer rising, you have the Sagittarius in the 4th house. I mean the 6th house. I'm sorry, I got it mixed up because the Cancer comes from the 4th house. It's deriving from that. So if you look at the Aries coming from the 1st house, the Cancer will come from the 4th house, being Aries being the 1st sign and Cancer being the 4th sign. So just to make sense of it for you. And with this Cancer being the rising sign, you're going to be ruled by the moon. So it's a bit of a misunderstanding between the way that you personally feel about things. It's going to be a far out schedule. You're going to be on a completely different schedule than everybody else. It's like the Jupiterian nature brings a bigger picture to things, like I say. So whenever you bring a bigger picture to your schedule, it's like hard to actually put things on a schedule, if that makes sense. Whenever you don't want to be locked into one thing, you want to be, saying, okay, I feel like I want to adapt to this thing today and do this. That's not really on the schedule. You want to actually, plan things in advance. So just don't misunderstand what you got going on and stick with this, stick with the program kind of thing with the Cancer rising here. And for the Gemini rising, this would be in your 7th house. So a different way to adapt. You want to have a far out way of adapting to your relationships and saying, okay, how do I relate and how do I bring my personal self, the way I communicate to my partner and people around me that I'm close to? How do I bring my bigger picture to this? How do I show them this and not just the circumstance, trying to just make a good conversation out of something or just make smooth waters? You want to actually have those difficult conversations of the Gemini rising and not be so in your head. Just if you feel it, go for it kind of thing. With the 7th house Sagittarius moon going here. So you're going to be feeling like you need to communicate these far out emotions to your partner and people around you, people you relate to. So if it's warranted, then okay, go for it. But if it's not, kind of leave it alone. And with the Taurus rising, with having the Sagittarius in the 8th house, this would be a far out way of going about your secrets, behind the scenes nature.